Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night. We are broadcasting live here on the United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM in New Orleans. I'm your host, Don Yazzie. With me, as always, my host, my co-host, Darren Yazzie.
Oh, what's up? What's going on, guys? So, the guest is a bit late today, huh? Tonight?
Oh, yeah. Better, hopefully, late, better than never. Better late, better than never, like they say.
But, yeah, we're going to, you're being whisked away to a magical land out there in New Mexico, Pine Hill, New Mexico. I guess we're going back to part 2 with Fabian. So, kind of curious about where the conversation is going to go. It's interesting hearing stuff about the house back at the home, So, Fabian's one of them too. But besides that, yeah, we got time. So, everything good on your end? They're done for everything prepped for the holiday, I guess you would say.
Yeah. Do a lot of nothing.
Dude. I can wait myself.
Relax.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
But one thing I looked up to, me and my brother were laughing about it, is Christmas is right here, and one of the funny things that we looked up was Santa Claus has not been around that long. He's only been around for maybe 100 years, 60 years. So the Coca-Cola, I think that was the product of invented Santa, I believe. I think that's how it was. Yeah. So it just popped out of nowhere, and now he's just a figment. He's just a staple to Christmas, So yeah, dude, it's really weird, like this guy Santa has only been around for 100 years, 60 years. So it's weird. So in fact, I guess.
Yeah, I'm tired of talking about his stanky ass. No, I was just kidding. But let's read the first comment here. Javon Koshale 24/7. Good evening, Don and Darren. Ready for another great episode. Going to be listening on the road. Hey, you drive safe, Vaughn. Yep. Like a lot of people don't know that it goes way back. It was Saturnalia. That's the original holiday for Christmas. And that day, shortest day of the year, back in Europe, certain places they would celebrate Saturnalia, where they would feast all day and drink a lot of booze, mead, and have huge orgies in their halls. Where they have a big fireplace and big tables where everyone's doing whatever for a whole day, whole night until the sun comes up the next day.
Wow, that's disturbing.
Yeah. I don't.
The whole history is
even
just
even in the Bible, like Jeremiah. I'll come back with the receipts. I'll look it up pretty soon. It even says that don't be like the Gentiles, where they go into the forest, chop down the tree, drag the tree into the house, decorate the tree with gold and silver.
Yeah.
What does that sound like to you?
Right.
I'm not gonna point any fingers.
Yeah, but it's true. There are all these holidays that America seems to celebrate. Like we're talking about, it's pagan holidays. It's really odd how America just kind of fell into celebrating pagan holidays. So yeah, dude, it's weird, huh? The whole history is dark.
It all started when you started seeing all the churches in every corner. That's when America fell. because there's many churches in the corner, all different, all divided. Like, hey, America fell. America is religious.
Yeah, I kind of
taking roots and all that stuff.
Yep, it's just divided. Just churches are divided. They all seem to believe in something else, but it's really odd. But there's always that one road in that city or that town where there's just nothing but churches down that road. We used to laugh about it and call them like the highway to heaven or something. So they have all these different churches and all that stuff. So
read some of these guys' comments real quick. True to my tribe, 0918. Hey, yo, what happened? What happening? Not much, man. We're just happy to give you guys another episode. You guys are hanging out with us as usual. Darren and I love doing this, by the way. And we will not ignore you guys or push you guys away. I have big ears, so you guys can follow us.
Yeah.
In
the meantime, we'll read the messages. If you guys have a story to tell, if you wanna tell a story, type it in or read it off. Since we're the guest is a bit late today, so we'll give you guys a chance to tell your stories.
At Sydney, hello, brother. Hey, Sydney. Thank you for joining us. See, Dom 32. Oh, what's up? Audacious Amber. Hey, where my uncles at? What's up? What's up, Amber?
What's up?
Jonah Yeja. Good evening, brothers. Hey, good evening, sis. Oh, Maddie the Baddie. What's up, Maddie?
What's up, Maddie?
Good stories, that guy. Good stories. Audacious Amber, like button, please. Yes, check. Tickle the bell button, the bell icon too. So it'll notify you when we go live. Crazy Coyote 1313, let's go. Yes, sir, let's go. Tyson Lolito, how's it going, bros? Title sounds like a good one. Oh yeah, we're gonna dig a little deeper on Fabian's first episode. AZ Lyman 47. Good evening, brothers. What's up, AZ Lyman?
What's up, man?
Cold here in San Diego.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, it's getting pretty chilly out there. But
really, I gotta check that out. Wonder how cold it is.
Yeah, it's getting pretty chilly out here. Man, I went and bought some stuff for the stray cats and made a little house for them. So everybody needs to stay warm, even the strays out there.
Oh yeah. Crazy Coyote 1313 comes back again. Always look forward to the holidays together with the family. Oh yeah, it's all about family.
Yep.
Sally Fourth alone. What's up, Sally? No guest speaker. He's running a little late, but he's running on Indian time.
Oh. Yep.
Let's see here. Crazy Coyote 1313 playing Resident Evil Remake 4 right now. Oh man.
Right on.
I remember playing the first one. The first one was a good one on the original PS PlayStation. Audacious Amber, 18 degrees here. Feels like 4. Marion. Yeah. Oh, geez. Oh. Stoner Hobbit. Hi, guys. What's up? What's up? Z-Sun Dragon. Hey, what's up, buddy? This is hi, Don. Hi, Darren. Tyson Lolito right here. Audacious Amber right here. This is a deadly uncle right here. He's always locked and loaded, huh, Tyson? Oh man, when Tyson came out to Kaibito area, we're supposed to investigate in Lichi area, but everyone's busy, man. Everyone's busy, so we went to Square Butte area because it's a hot spot too, and there's just one car that kept coming by, and it was like slowing down and hauling ass out, and then coming back again, and it was going back and forth. And Tyson and I, we had our pistols, and then Tyson was there with his cousin. He's like, "Man, I don't want to get shot again." So I was like, "It's all good, it's all good. We're all locked and loaded." and this vehicle pulls up really close, and then Tyson was ready to be desperado right there, Doc Holiday. And then with the vehicles open up, and I had my 10 on my side. I was ready for it, and out comes the vehicle is my father-in-law and the chapter house president of PT-2.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, this guy every time, man, always freaks us out. We're beside the road doing some stuff like this. So yeah, it took a while for Tyson to calm down. So it was pretty cool, man. But yeah, I thought I'd share that story since Tyson's here. Just always know that Tyson is down. Tyson's down. Let's see here. Z Sun Dragon 6461. Sean says Merry Xmas. LOL, just came from his show. Oh hey. Yep, tell Sean Kelly we said happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and we hope he enjoys the pumpkin spice. Sean Kelly, he comes on right before us. Into the Night. This is show name, and he does not like pumpkin spice. We'll tell some scary stories after we read the comments. All right, so stay tuned, guys. Just be patient here. Maddie the Baddie, is there a topic for tonight's episode? Yes, sir. Let's see here. Strange encounters with Fabian Perez. He talks about he's going to get deeper into his grandpa's brujeria. So he had a story on the first episode where they seen a ball of fire traveling in the air, and that's how the Mexican witches, that's how they travel. So we're going to get deeper into that one. We're going to let him cook more on the first episode. Let's see here. Any snow your ways, guy? Any snow your way, guys? Nothing here in St. George, Utah. Texas.
Nothing here either. Texas. Just got the cold.
Oh man. Hey Maddie, I would, but this is kind of a maybe if we have like a free for all again, like a certain day opens up, then we'll bring on a whole bunch of people. But Maddie, I have you down. I gotta look at my planner right now. Maddie's gonna be coming on really soon. He has a really good one. My favorite ones are the cornfield and the Jeepers Creepers story. I guess they're a survivor. I guess that gargoyle Jeepers Creepers thing.
Yeah,
like, he's trying to take them, his grandparents, and his family while they're out in the cornfield. Yeah,
that's disturbing.
Same deal. Like remember Jeepers Creepers where he's in the cornfield, the scarecrow. Same deal. That's what he did, and he's trying to taking them. So that's gonna be really.
It's crazy. It kind of makes you wonder about this whole, the film industry and, all these movies, they're monster movies, So that's the originate somewhere, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Right here, Tyson Lolito. Definitely need to bring him back on, him and his cousin. Tyson Lolito. Yeah, my coworker told me a story about a guy getting attacked by little people and one watching him in his apartment during Thanksgiving dinner from the hills. Wow.
Little people.
Yeah, definitely go check that. 55 degrees. I knew it. I was going to say, 46 degrees? Oh, man. That's very cold in San Diego. All right. Tyson Lolito, guy was attacked in Superman Canyon.
Superman Canyon. Where was that at? I'm trying to remember right now.
I don't know. Sounds like something. Sounds like a good place to camp out. Chris Soto, what's up to my favorite podcasters? Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah,
we
did it, man.
Hey, man, thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is looking forward to this one. Lots of brujerias here in Miami. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Yeah, I hear that's really some pretty powerful stuff I've been hearing as well. Especially the voodoo stuff as well. I know there are different ones, brujeria, voodoo, and I think they're combined, right? The brujeria, like Native American, Latin, and Jamaican, like African, all that. So anyways, let's see here. True to my tribe, 40 degrees here. Oh man, where's here? It's like 32 degrees here in St. George. Crazy Coyote, Indian time is best time. I'll be there in either 5 minutes or 5 hours. I'll be there.
Right.
Be there in one piece. Audacious Ember. Does somebody say uncle? Oh, yeah, somebody did. Right here was Tyson. Says, was a good one. Oh, yeah. Tyson, hey, man, I was the only one laughing, and Tyson wasn't laughing. He's all like, he's already drawn like, dude, it's all right. It's my in-law, it's my father-in-law, the chapter president, all right? Oh, man, that was funny. Crazy Coyote. To be honest, y'all are doing the Christmas tradition of scary stories because it's cold right now. Oh, yeah,
right.
Be careful. Krampus is going to give you a nipple twister. Be careful, Crazy Coyote. I was just playing. True to my tribe. Y'all been to Mulberry Inn? Oh, you went on Berry Lane? Nah, just kidding. Where's that at? Mulberry Inn. Oh, nice right here. It says north of Gallup.
Ooh. Mulberry Inn.
Northeast of Gallup. I never heard of that before. How about you, Darren? We'll definitely check that out. Is there a portal to Mulberry Inn? I'll definitely be there. Audacious Amber, all in good fun. Oh,
yeah, that's all it is.
Yes, indeed, sister. All right. So, here it goes. It's in St. George, haunted place there. Ooh, definitely check that out. My daughter is willing to check that out. Okay, Darren. Let's distract everybody until Fabian gets here. I remember you were on TikTok live.
Yeah.
And you told me a story you never told before here.
Oh, yeah. I think I can go a bit further on that one just because TikTok is a bit censored. So from I'll just go back for from the beginning.
Cedric Willie, what's up, brother? Sorry.
No, it's okay. What's up, man? So
sorry.
This one, this is just another encounter experience that I lived with. This one takes place in Cameron, Arizona. Like I mentioned before, Cameron, Arizona was a lot different than how it is now. There's only 2-lane road, no lights, no concrete, nothing like that. It was just dark. When it got dark, and it was beautiful. To tell you the truth, the stars out and everything. You see the land, you see the painted desert, and anyone that passed through there will probably know where I live just because it was so close to the road. But this one was my late sister and a couple of the relatives. Natives, they all get together and they camp out. And this was no different. They decided to sleep on the trampoline late one evening. So what they like I said, they're all asleep on the trampoline until early in the morning. I went over to get some breakfast, see what the commotion was and how everybody was doing. Then everybody's eating, and then they started telling a story that happened last night during the what happened to them, all of them last night. So one wakes up in the middle of the night, and what they described was them hearing a clown laughing, laughing in the dark. And, one got scared. How you hear it's out of normal. You don't plan to hear a clown laughing, in the middle of the night. So one wakes up and then they just wake each other all the way up around the circle. So eventually they all started hearing this clown laughing. It's how to describe it was this your stereotypical clown laugh. I tried doing it on TikTok, but it doesn't do it justice. You might have to look it up. Just your your corny clown laugh.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Something like that.
Yeah, dude. Exactly. That's exactly how it sounds when I did it, but I can't do it justice like that. So, and everybody in the morning was just kind of, just shaking up and eating their breakfast, and I was like, huh, like no shit, you guys. And they said, you guys gonna sleep outside tonight again? Yeah, this time they were planning to actually chase down where the sound was coming from. So they didn't catch nothing that night, and it wasn't only, and it was maybe about, I would like to say maybe a couple of months later that I brought this story up to my mother and my brother. Uh, how they say you manifest the scary. You manifest it. You bring it up when you talk about it. Uh, talking about this. That night I asked my brother, my mother. Back then it was like, if you guys ever hear anything, late at night, wake me up. I'll go check it out. So I went and fell asleep on the in the room that night. My brother, he was just a young like, elementary, so he was sleeping next to my mother. And that night, uh, they heard that clown laughing too on the side of the road, and they just relayed the same clown laugh. And I was asking, like, why didn't you guys get us? Why didn't you guys wake me up? I literally just like, I told you guys that night. If you guys ever see anything, I'll go run after it. He's like, no, like for whatever reason, this hearing this clown laugh, put the fear in them, because it was such an oddball experience to hear a clown laugh in the middle of the desert. And the next morning, yeah, like the same thing. The next morning, got up and I just seen them both, sitting at the table, just blank eyed, like, damn, what happened to you guys? And my brother's like, dude, it's like that clown laughing. He's like, we heard that last night. And that's one of the stories. These, I don't even know where to put it. And you hear a clown laughing in the middle of the desert on the side of the road. But anyways, this also relays to another encounter.
Quick,
I guess
Darren, everyone's asking if you live in Cameron, like AZ Lyman.
Yeah. I lived in Cameron.
When did you live in Cameron?
Yeah, I lived in Cameron for maybe seven years. So I lived in Cameron, Arizona. I went to
Crazy Coyote is said that his aunties are from there, the Duhai sisters.
Duhai. Yeah, and it's been a minute.
Hey,
man.
what's up, Melody?
Hey, Molly. Yeah, it's been a minute since I went back to Cameron. But it's an old stomping ground, bro. I love that I love the old Cameron better because that's what I grew up with. And I disappeared from Cameron for maybe 20 years, and I came back one decided just to stop by, and it was like, what the hell? What the heck? You got freaking lights on the roads now? You guys got a Burger King? Like, what the heck's going on now? So,
expanding.
But anyways, this leads up to this area right here too. It's a little road. Back then, there used to be a single tree that used to grow on the road next to the house. What my father was telling me.
Check it out. Check it out. Somebody already figured it out.
Right, Ghost is 13. Dude, who knows, man? Who knows?
Probably, huh? Man, check out Cedric. Says, if you feel like there's evil presence around you, they use your fears against you to get the best of them. Oh, yeah.
Yep. Just like this clown.
MG.
Hey, what's up? So
go ahead.
This one leads into another encounter from my father. Back then, he, just like all men, Navajo men, they're always you always have to go through the years where you're a troublemaker, even though you don't do it. So this was no different for him. And one uh, night they decided to go out there and visit a party, go out there and party, drink and have fun. But sadly, the party that they went to was the people didn't like him. They knew that they didn't like him. So my father's like pretty much just spoke the obvious. Like, these guys don't like us, man. What are we doing here? Like, and one of the friends, he was saying, like, don't worry about it. Just came here, get some drinks and laugh. So eventually that night, they take off. They go to my father's little shack or whatnot. So they drop off, and the man that told him, that was telling them to stay at the party, he walked off. He walked off to get to go home. And later down that night, those people actually ran him over and killed him. And by that tree, I guess what he says, like, he died right there. That later on, about maybe 2 or 3 days later, what he said was, I heard knocking on the door. Someone was knocking on the door late at night, and he used to have a little dog too, and his dog started a little barking, and he's like, from what he said, he answered, like, who's it? Who's it? What do you want? And he said his name. He's like, the man that got ran over. He's like, what are you doing here? What are you doing? You're not supposed to be here. He's like, I don't. You can hear the laughter in his, the joking laugh, in the ghost's voice. And he's like, come on, man, let's go out there. Let's go grab some drinks. Let's go make a run. From that, my father, he argued with that spirit, and he told him, like, you're dead. You're not supposed to be here. You go. You're not alive no more. And he's like, after that, the ghost just kind of laughs. He's like, all right, I'll just like, all right, I'll go grab some drinks myself. And that spirit walked off. So, later on during that, he told his family what happened, and who visited him that night. So they ended up seeing a medicine man, and that medicine man pretty much told him, if you would have went out with that ghost, you would have died that night. That was what it came to do.
Your last party.
Yeah, he wanted to take you with him. He's like, it's a good thing you argued and you fought with that spirit, and that's one of the things that we talked about this a little bit. The Navajos, they have 3 days. They say the spirit, the person stays around for 3 days, and this was no different. In those 3 days, he came by and he argued with my dad. But even Cameron, that place is really nice. I can tell you where petrified life is, ancient life in that area. When I was younger, it rained for maybe like 2 weeks straight, dude. And the water, the sand, the earth was moist, was wet. And when I was younger, walked down the trading post, the area, and I seen what you call horseshoe crabs, believe it or not. Seen little horseshoe crabs playing in the mud puddles. And I seen it in like those old the books, and I was sitting there looking at them, and I got a little branch, and I kneeled down in the little puddle, and I flipped one over, sure enough, you can see the tail and the little claws and everything like that. And I was like, whoa, dude, this is crazy. And uh, after that, I just never seen him again. I seen him once, and it was quite a bit of them too. They're probably about the size of maybe a Coke can, Pepsi can, about that small.
Pretty big.
They're really small. They weren't
Oh,
like
the bottom, like the circumference of the can.
yeah. They're
Oh,
really
okay.
small. They weren't like how they are now. They're kind of about the size of dinner plate. So these ones I seen were small, and uh, after that, I asked my grandmother and my mom. She's like, leave it alone. That's been here before you. It's been here before me. Respect it. Let it live. Don't mess with them. Let them be. And like, oh, okay. So the next day, I wanted to verify because I was by myself, but I know what I seen though. Went back to that puddle, and they were gone. Whatever happened to them, probably just crawl back in the earth. But the camera right there is weird.
Brought them out.
Yeah,
Brought them
and
out because it was an old world, like 10,000 years ago. It rained a lot
yeah,
here, so I think they're all deep within the earth, that's for sure. But
yeah.
let's say what's up to everybody in the chat real quick here. Let's see, Grandpa says everyone's related to him
Yep.
and Cameron.
Yeah,
Easy Lyman.
sadly. But
see,
yeah, I got a couple more stories about Cameron too. So I guess I'll tell them right now. So while we're waiting.
Hang on there. Yep, while we're waiting, let's read some of this real quick. It says Tyson Lolito, we need to hit the hill soon. Cold weather is good for Bigfoot hunting. Really? Really, really. I know like the old ones, like the white ones, they stay stational, while the younger ones they go lower elevation. That's what I heard. There's always the old white one stays behind. See here. Lasichik Willie Cameron is close to the Hopi reservation.
Oh yeah.
And something
that
from
too.
them.
Yeah, I know where petroglyphs are for the Hopi too out there.
I think he's talking about the your clown story. What you
Yeah.
were talking about. Yeah, I think he's referring to that one. And okay, that's the chat between them. Let's see here. Right here, Tyson, Lisichi William down to go up there, brother. Hey, what about us? I was just kidding. It's far away. Crazy Coyote 1313 says, let's see here. Let's see here. If those horseshoe crabs had a split tail, you probably saw a desert shrimp, aka trilopod. Probably, huh? Desert shrimp. I wonder how they taste. This is right here. You scared Jody 1248. I visited my family on the res when I was younger. While I was there, a strange looking dog would follow me around, and my aunt told me to stay away because it was sick and the other dogs avoided it. Creepy. The plague, perhaps. Crazy Coyote 1313. Then again, you probably saw a recording of Earth like tape recording that had happened to me at a petrified forest. I saw two ghost dinosaurs sleeping on top of a petrified log. What?
Really, man.
Ghost dinosaurs. So it is true. There's dinosaur ghosts. Yeah. All right. You made my day there, Crazy Coyote. You are a Crazy Coyote. Yeah. That's for sure. I like you. We see you, Willie. You and Darren are always invited. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. See here. The Cedric says, can show you that spring where the big snake was seen. Hey, I don't know what snake you're talking about. Nah, just kidding. See here. Second biggest snake. Nah, just kidding. Right? You scared Jody 1248. I would pet it and hug it. Or I pet it and hung out with me while I wandered around. I'd have to throw a rock to keep the other dogs back. but the strange one was friendly when I went to the washes. It stopped following. Weird. Very odd still. Very odd still. Crazy Cody says Big Snake where?
Mm.
Go ahead, Darren.
Oh yeah. So
Did.
this, this leads up to, and another story that I told on TikTok. With the ghost out there at the, I think it's called the Colorado Gorge Rim. Right there, if you ever go towards Grand Canyon, you'll see a flat area next to a cliffside where they sell jewelry, and I haven't been there for a while, but that's what they used to do when I was there. They sell jewelry and food and stuff like that, and people go down there. They take pictures of the canyon, pretty much. But this one goes back to, this was one I was told when I was younger. Was told to me when I was younger, because we used to play around at night. We used to play flashlight tag, or flashlight hide and seek in the dark and stuff like that. And we started talking about ghosts and stuff like that younger. And one of my uncles, my relatives, he's like, oh, I got a story I'll tell you guys. Here, come here. This happened to me. I seen this, and this is what I call your ghost story. So him and another one of the relatives, they decided to go, for whatever reason, they decided to go there late at night and drink, just tell some stories. You know how people Navals are sometimes, go out and drive a dirt road, drink, listen to music. So they decided to go out there, and what they said he seen was he heard screaming, and what he said they seen next was a person running right there in the open, and they were screaming. What he said is he had his hands out forward, and it was screaming, and it was running and screaming, running towards the cliff. And what he said is, he's like, this one kind of gave me the chills because it recognized us. It turned its head and looked directly at us, and it screamed, and it continued screaming. And what he said was, it screamed, and it ran itself off the cliff. And he's like, it was crazy because he's like, you can hear the echo in the canyon when it was screaming, and then all of a sudden it stopped. And what he said was like, man, we that sobered us up quick, and we just drove back to the house, and that was it. We decided to call it
They
a
didn't
night.
see anything.
No, they seen the spirit, spirit of, I think it might have been a lady running in the moonlight.
Oh snap!
So I guess the history that they found was, early in like the 60s or 70s or whatnot, that a group of kids were left alone in a vehicle, and for whatever or however they hit the vehicle into neutral, and the vehicle rolled off the cliff, and that guess one of the parents tried to stop the vehicle and went off the edge too. So it's been a minute since I've been there, but I do remember seeing a vehicle on the bottom. I might have to go back and take a look again. But that's that's what one of the ghost stories I was told in that area. And also one of the funny parts about it too is they used to call it the midnight mooner, or the moonlight mooner. And in that area, if you drive out that area and the moon, when the moon's out, full moon's out, he said that you'll see a ghost sitting on top of the mountain mooning you in the moonlight. So he'll pull his pants down and he'll moon you. So that's it's kind of a humorous story, but that takes place in the same area too. So But even out there too, on top of the what do they call it, Gray Mountain, top of Gray Mountain too, that a couple of people. He's actually my old friend when he was younger. That they went out wood hauling. Traditionally, the Navajos, they cut wood for the winter. And they went up top of the mountain, and what he said he seen was Bigfoot. He kind of laughed about it. I saying big feet out there in the cold, like, and, as a kid, he's like, who's walking around with no shoes out here in the snow? He's like, then later on when they made it down, he kind of laughed about it, and then everybody kind of like, I think that was Bigfoot, like, because they were like, who else would walk around with bare feet? But this isn't the first time too that I heard Bigfoot on top of that mountain. Also, I had an old Marine. He told me that they went up there hauling wood too in the winter. He says that when we were done, we turned around, we were heading back, and is that one thing we seen? It looked like a big hairy man sitting on a log, looking down off the cliff. And everybody they were pretty much stopped because where that thing was sitting was right where the road that you needed to go down. So it was kind of, you find out what this thing is, and don't your mind kind of puts itself in a situation that you try to do what's best for yourself and the people around you. And what he said was he grabbed his rifle and he yelled at it, and right when he pulled back the made how guns, it kind of clicks, pull the rifle back, he did that, and he's like, the thing stood up, and he's like, holy shit, this thing was like 13 feet tall. And just he's it was weird. It was even weirder because just how small it looked when it was sitting down, but when it stood up, it it towered itself and tripled its size out there. And the next a couple of days, he was an old family friend too that told us this. But Bigfoot is out there in the reservation, Cameron. So that, and believe it or not, I actually seen, I think, my second UFO out there in Cameron too.
Real quick,
well,
hold on.
Yeah.
All right, let's catch it real quick. AZ Lyman 47. The Duhai family is related to Pastor Cody from Gray Mountain Church.
Oh no.
Ooh. Does that new name ring a bell to you?
I knew the new guys. Yeah, the new guys.
Let's see here. Okay. Covering everyone's comment right here. Tyson Lolito, let's go check it out, Don. If you're down to go with Mr. Willie. Oh man, definitely. Definitely gotta plan something out here, man. Mr. Willie's episodes next week. Right here, CG Willie, you need to plan something for that Don and Darren. I know there's one that lives there. Big giant snake, huh? Description goes that it has horns and it's black.
Huh.
Find out. Crazy Coyote, JC Johnson covered giant black snakes in and around Navajo Reservation. Oh, San Juan River is home to one. Definitely. Yep. Oh, man, speaking of, I chatted with one of my family members. He said that his dad told him that there's a doorway in the Grand Canyon, a very, very old doorway that it would go in and outside of from our world into the next world. So that doorway is alele, so it's magical doorway, right? So that's probably where it ties in where we came up from the giant red reed from the last flood of the world. We came up from there, and that serpent came out as well. And he told him that the government got down in there and they blasted that door shut, and that serpent can't go back home. So that serpent swims all along Lake Powell, San Juan River, and it goes up to Green River, and it makes its way because Green River is connected to Flaming Gorge, and Flaming Gorge runs off all the way from Green River, all the way from the Wind River Mountains by the Cheyenne Reds. So I'm not sure if they seen a giant snake, because if they do, they should reach out. That's cool. So it travels the waterway, and people in Green River, Utah, I guess they've been telling my family member, they've been telling him that they've been seeing something in the river, and they keep saying that it's a crocodile, it's an alligator. I guess it's really long, swimming in the water, just cruising, making its way up to Wyoming. I guess they're calling it a crocodile. So he said that it lives, it travels, gets out of water, goes in the water, goes back and forth. So he roams around in the creeks and the washes and all that good stuff. Okay, let's see here. Let's see where we at here. Okay, Easy Lyman 47 by Grand Falls. There's a canyon when it rains a lot. A big toad comes out. Ooh, they say it's about the size of a car.
Whoa, crazy.
Yeah, Mr. Running Crane said the same thing too in Montana. There's a big, giant, ancient frog that comes out.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? The Cedric Willie, Crazy Coyote. Oh, yeah. Okay, so he's replying to Crazy Coyote. SNX Radio, Stone Hobbit. Hey, what's up, SNX Radio? What's up? Let's see here. Crazy Coyote. Arizona has aquifers. Chances are in the underground. Very deep. Sure. Yeah, Tyson. Let's start planning it, man. Let's see, February. I know Tyson, and we have a very special episode on the 28th this month. Is our first, is one of our very big name celebrities that's been on the TV series called Breaking Bad. His name's Jesus, and he did a lot of Bigfoot investigating, and his recent one was in Mescalero Apache Reservation. So they have he has some good pictures through the tent, and it was smiling, and it was making a mean face, and they took pictures. He has good photos of it. It was looking at him through the tent, and his homie was looking at him, and he was taking pictures. It was staring at them inside the tent. So scary. Yeah, man.
Man.
Yeah. SNX Radio. I saw a UFO and had to stop and say hello. Hey, thank you, SNX Radio. Hit subscribe and my favorite. Thank you. We'd like to hear about it as well. We'd like to hear about it. Reach out. Crazy Coyote 13. Holy moly. You just discovered skin fins. Origin of skin fin. What's that? Is the name of the Lake Powell monster. What?
Skin fin? Wait. Now I guess we got a lake moss, dude. I would have never known.
You didn't know that? You didn't know it's the same. It's the same description, like a dragon-like creature. It has the horns. And I spoke to a guy in Lechi. He was up on the cliffs by the lake, and he said that he seen something come out of the lake. He said it had a really big head. He said the size of the head was 5 feet, 5 feet wide. He said he only saw the head. He said the rest of the body was in the lake, and it was like looking for a pathway to crawl up in the sand. And he said he was next to a big rock, and he waited for that serpent to get closer. He said black, big horns. He said looked like a dragon. He said it was getting closer to him. He threw down a rock. He said he loosed that rock. He said that rock was going right for it. He said it turned its head, and boom, that rock exploded. It landed right next to his head. He said that serpent came up and looked at him, and it jumped back into the lake and disappeared.
Wow.
He said he was willing to get the body and try to cash it in. That's what he said.
Oh,
And he told
that's
me
crazy.
another story too. Yeah, like remember Antelope Canyon? He said
Mm,
that serpent makes its way up the canyon, and it comes up through the sand. He said that when they're herding, they saw the sand start shifting, and they said it came out. He said it's all big. He said it's black and horns, and it took I think it was a horse or a sheep. It took one of them and it went back in. And
God, dang.
supposedly, yeah, that's scary, right? And
Right.
supposedly, whenever we go to the lake, we are supposed to offer corn pollen before we enter our fish. We have to
Wow.
ask them for a safe time, good time, or blessing before we do anything.
Wow.
But that's
Dude.
that's the story of the
Yeah.
lake monster.
Oh,
Let's
that's crazy.
see here. Yeah, Tyson Lolito. We have Navajo Nessie
Oh,
in
yeah. I
our
just, yeah.
waters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll call her Resi. No, just kidding. SNX Radio. Where else are you streaming? Why? No, just kidding. Uh, Facebook and Twitch. Yeah, in here, YouTube. Cryptic Crystal 2997. What is the link for two cryptid legends? Hmm. I don't know. Don't Whistle All Night podcast. Right here, Don and I was just kidding. There that's a new show actually. Darren, we have yet to get those two guys on here, Daryl and
Mhm.
Ron. Ron Moorhead from the Sierra Sounds. They
Yeah.
started in another guy, Daryl. I haven't really done my research on him yet, but I know Ron because the Sierra Sounds in my Sasquatch encounter, and that's how I know him. And um, yeah, probably next year sometime we'll try to get them on. I really like to get
Wow.
them on and pick their brains, especially Ron.
Right.
Because all that audio he captured, that's rock solid. It's golden because I had all that thing yell back at me just like that.
Hmm.
So yeah, right here, SNX Radio with Daryl and Ron Moorhead, good friends. Yep, UPRN. That's one of the new shows right there, Darren.
Hmm.
I think we come up with new shows every other day or every other week. We have new shows, so we're still growing out there. Um, your UFO story.
Oh, yeah. So this I know happened on the weekend because like I was saying, everybody has the era where they go and have fun, drink and mess around. As a teenager, I was no different. So everybody met up at the house, and before I tell you about this UFO, before they say, if anybody say like, yeah, right, what were you drinking? I was drinking Mickey's, 2 for $1, so that's what we were getting lit off that night. But uh, before everybody started drinking, we went to a little spot that we usually hang out at. And I stayed behind because, I was like, well, I'm going to use the restroom. And before I leave, so everybody took off, and I was the last one. So I was walking to the little party spot, and, you cross go towards like the chapter house area, and it's real flat. You can see down the little valley and the houses down on the bottom, and the sun was barely getting ready to go down. You can barely see that blue, the light blue on the rim of the world, and everything was dark up on top, right at the edge of Gray Mountain too. Yeah. If you ever go out that way, you'll see how the mountain kind of drops off and it drops down and it gets, it hits another elevation. When I was walking, I noticed the stars. I like, I watched the stars, So me saying that, I looked over and I seen like, what is that? I never seen that star right there. Why is it so bright? And I kind of just stopped and I stared at it, and I kind of just like squinted my eyes and focused on that light. As I did, the star, or what I thought was a star, started moving. It started moving in like a figure eight, really light. You can see it moving, but it's really faint. It's moving back all the way, and it sounds like right when I noticed it, like I actually confirmed, like whoa, what is that? And that bright light shoots off towards Flagstaff, and the way the reason why I say it shoots off is because it left a light streak right behind it, like your Millennium Falcon, hits the star waves or whatnot. It leaves a bright streak behind it, and I sat there, and I was like, "Oh, what the heck was that?" And later on, I meet it with everybody else, and everybody else was, just laughing and, just having a time. And I got there and I was like, "Did you guys see that? Did you guys?" Because the way everybody was positioned, they were actually looking, at a clear view of the mountain and everything right there. And I asked them, like, "You guys see that light that shot across right there?" And it's like, "No, we didn't." And I was like, "Huh." Dude, I think I just seen a UFO, and I told everybody what I seen. And like, yeah, that star is not even there. I don't know if you guys noticed that star on top of the Great Mountain. He's like, it's not there no more. And everybody's like, huh, that's weird. And then, typical teenagers switch back to party mode. So that's right there. That happened out there in Cameron, Arizona, when maybe mid-teen, high school years, But that area, I know. I talk about seeing the first, Skinwalker. That's where I seen that out there in the dirt roads. On the other side of, if you ever go to Cameron, there's a bridge. I seen it on the opposite end of the bridge on Cameron. That was actually me, uh, my oldest brother. That we seen that. I showed him. He was my oldest brother. I seen, because we're going for a joyride, and it was during the Tuba City Fair. Believe it or not, that's actually where we're planning on going during that event. And I think it was the last weekend for that Tuba City Fair. The Northern Fair, Navajo Nation Fair. And what we're just all kids too, man, and we decided to go for a little ride on the dirt roads. Went back there. We went to a water tank, kind of about maybe 6 miles on a dirt road, and everybody jumped out and we were walking around, and me and my older brother, we walked off next to the riverbed. And there's no water. Everything was just kind of water filed down. You can see the ripples in the ground. And as we were walking around, we noticed footprints, little dog footprints, and we followed the footprints. And at the edge of the riverbed, if you ever go to a dry riverbed, it kind of jumps up elevation where the water cut through the land. We seen it and we followed the trail. Then right when it got on top of the next elevation, then it turned into bare footprints. Just like maybe about, I like to say maybe a kid's footprints. They weren't adult. They were probably maybe early teenager, size footprints, kids. And we sat there and we looked at it, and we all tried to make sense of it, like eventually we just like, dude, that's Skinwalker, bro. Then it just bare footprints in the dirt. So I think what happened was, when this thing was changing its form, it jumped and it turned into a human. But later on, after that, we all jumped back in the little Blazer and we were driving back. that's when we rolled that blazer like maybe 4 or 5 times. It was bad, bro. I'm really surprised that we like no one got seriously hurt. Actually, no one got hurt. Um, my my cousin and my brother, younger brother, were on the outside laying in the dirt, and when the dust settled, the only one that had his seatbelt on was my brother, Jeremy. He was in the middle, and my other brother, he didn't have a seatbelt on. He was the one driving. I didn't have my seatbelt on, and I was on the passenger side. So, you know, it always comes with these skinwalkers. They always come with that bad omen, And I say that because this is what uh, I experienced, and then this is what happened afterwards. And no one got hurt. No one died. No one was bleeding. To tell you the truth, we all went to the hospital. And that lady's like, "Wow, you guys all made it out of there. Someone was watching after you guys because they showed pictures of the accident. The blazer was upside down, and at the last turn, I smacked the ground. I smacked the handlebar on my chest, and the other side of top half of my body was outside. My lower body was on the inside of the vehicle. So,
Pretty close.
so yeah, dude, we made it out of that encounter alive. So
Check it out here. AZ Lyman says they have a giant catfish in Lake Powell.
oh yeah, I heard about that too. I heard about that one.
Someone close to me said they seen a figure about the size of a car swim by the houseboat. Yeah. AZ Lyman, this person's uncle worked at the dam as a mechanic. They would go down to clean the screens, and they would see an eye about the size of a basketball below 70 feet.
Yeah. No way, man.
It's pitch black. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's cool. Let's see here. Crazy Coyote 1313. The rule of reptiles is they have no expiration date. They just grow very, very big. Really? That's pretty cool. I had no idea. Carla Washington 3069. I met Ron Moorhead and Jesus Pinion. They were both friendly and down to earth. I bought both of their books. They were very good guests. Or they would be very great guests on your show. Thank you, Carla. Yeah. Definitely. I hope so as well. I got a lot of questions to ask both of them. Tyson Lolito, Mr. Perez probably forgot he's going live. He's probably Christmas shopping. D-Walt half-inch impact driver for me. He's just kidding, brother. Real, right? I need a new measuring tape. I keep losing my measuring tape. Bestichic Willie, 8381. Crazy Coyote. Exactly. You never see dead reptiles. Oh, yeah. Real. Yeah.
So, yeah, dude. So, Cameron, it's full of all sort of stuff like that. Even I was told about a recent ghost. There's a little pond out there in Cameron too. It's fed by groundwater, pretty much. So they have like a pipe in the just in the solid rock.
Hey, car bear. Okay.
And this man that I used to know, I knew him since I was kids, since we were kids, and he sadly passed away in that canyon. Like, for whatever reason, they decided to go out there, and he was drunk and flash flood. It took him out, and it killed him. And there's people out there that say they see sees ghosts out there. It's like, oh man, like last thing I want to do is see someone's ghost, someone that I used to know, So, but there's a lot of stories out there, a lot of good stories.
Getting a lot of Centaur stories there too.
Wow,
we've been seeing him, especially when the moon's out. You're seeing his body kind of reflects from the moon, and when people are driving by, they say he's running beside them, and he looks in the vehicle.
Wow,
these stories keep coming to me from that petrified area,
Mm.
and I want to check out this one petroglyph there where it has the twin warriors coming in, and he's shooting the Sasquatch with the lightning and the arrow. When he's letting go the arrow is giving off a lightning trail, and it's going right to the Sasquatch because he's holding out his arm like this, and he's coming at them.
Dang,
Yeah,
poor Sasquatch.
that's there. Yeah, so that's where the twin warriors came in, got Yeito, killed Yeito, and yeah, there's all kinds of really great stories tied to that. Especially the land is cheap there too for sale, so you just buy some land and just do some research, some studying.
All right.
There's this one ghost story that I just remembered. So back in high school, this ties into Lake Powell. So my good friend, he had a neighbor, and that we both went to school together and everything. And his neighbor was a quiet kid, but we say hi to him. And so this is like, I think they were one of the first kids that actually got a cell phone. You know, they had the earlier cell phones, and I guess they went to Lake Powell one day to go fish and swim. This is in Hall's Crossing area, and he I guess he drowned. He drowned in the lake, and I wasn't sure if they recovered his body. I'm not quite sure about that part. And I guess like a few days after he passed, he called his brother. I guess he had a brother, and I guess his brother was there with their friends because they all had friends, a little group. They all hung out together, and they all saw the incoming call from him, and they're all freaking out, like, "What? This is him? How can it be?" You know. They answered the phone, and when they answered the phone, it was him. It was his voice. He was trying to say, "Help me, help me." And they said that it sounded like he was underwater, and it sounded like he was drowning, and they can hear water all around him.
Mm.
And the phone died.
Wow.
And yeah, they were talking about it, and I remember they were showing us the missed call too, the call log.
Mm.
I've seen it. Missed call from him. They actually were they're talking to him for a while. I think, yeah. So, you know, when I go back home, I don't know how I would ask them if they would remember that story. You know, I don't know how to, you know, I either just leave it, you know what I mean? Because it's really sad story as well, you know. And yeah, so that was one of the scary stories I remember my high school days that relates to Lake Powell. Like whoever drowns in San Juan River, they never find their body. And Lake Powell, I'm not really sure. I think it's 50-50. But Mexican Hat, Utah area, whoever jumps in, you know, there's a good chance that they're never going to be coming out. Up and down the river, you see whirlpools. So, you know, they say, stay out of there. Don't go in those whirlpools because you're going to disappear. You can disappear into, they're like pointing towards Navajo land. They're saying the river's like this, the whirlpool. Once you go inside, you're going to end up deeper into the earth on the Navajo side. They say if the whirlpool is closer to the other side, you can end up off the res, but underground. There's tunnels everywhere and air pockets. So pretty interesting stuff. I don't know about all that.
Wow.
You know, but yeah.
Yeah, these, you know, that's the stories that, you know, I grew up with, or, you know, that I encountered back there in Cameron, Arizona. You know, it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun out there. Made you know, a lot of memories out there in Cameron. I can remember, you know, going to school. The nearest school was either Tuba City or, you know, Flagstaff. You know, I went to Tuba City. You know, I remember back then, you know, I remember one of the rumors that went around the school was that an angel landed out there and outside of Cameron, or not Cameron, Tuba City. and that allegedly someone took a picture of the angel in the desert, and what they were saying was, yeah, the footprints where it landed, its footprints were still in you know the rock. So where it landed, it molded its feet in the rock. So that was I'm not too sure if anybody knows any more about that. You know, hit us up. But another thing too is I remember one of the ladies, the Navajo Nation police, they stopped by the school. For whatever reason, they're trying to um, have a community where you talk with the police, and they went to our class, and they sat down and told us what their name and how long they've been doing this and stuff like that. So, out of curiosity, at the end, the the officer, it was a lady. Out of curiosity, what one of the kids says, "What was the scariest thing you seen out there working? Like, what's the scariest thing you seen out there?" And what she was saying was, "Well, one of the scariest things I seen was we got called to and a wild animal. And one of the areas that this thing was seen was they had fence, like the 8-foot fencing. And so right when I pulled up, it was next to a cemetery, I guess. And right when I pulled up, I seen what I thought was a dog hunched over right in front of the lights. As she honked the horn at it, and what she said was the thing turned around and looked, and it stood up on 2 feet. It grabbed the top of the fence, and it jumped right over one hand, like a kid would, or jumping over a fence. Put 1 foot on the fence lining and jumped over, and it ran off into the cemetery. So, for whatever reason, she decided to share that with the kids, and everybody afterwards were just. The bell rang, and I remember everybody just looking at each other like, "Whoa, dude, that's freaking crazy." You seen a freaking, back then they didn't even use the word werewolf. They didn't use the word dogman because the internet was really new. Yeah, it was really new.
Yeah, that's the word they would use was maitso.
Yeah, that's
the dogman or skinwalker. They would say that maitso. Or then if it's Bigfoot, it's yaito. I think it's
that's what I was told too. Maitso would be another a good word for it. This dog man, this werewolves or whatever people are seeing them. That's one thing that we
probably he married. Do you know that he married one of the first Navajo women, Maito? And he married the first Navajo woman, one of the first Navajo women, and he I guess she was a sister. She came from 2 brothers, I believe, and the father. And this one Maito came. He was speaking to them in Navajo, saying that he wants to marry the daughter, and he'll teach him some ways and help him out. And they married their daughter off to him. And I guess the older brother didn't like him at all from the very beginning. He didn't trust him. And I guess they went off like over yonder and built their settlement, their child Hogan and whatnot. And the older brother and the younger brother, they both take turns observe and watch, just keep an eye on them. They didn't trust him. And the older brother one day, I guess it was nighttime, the moon was out, so the brother, he was there, he was listening. He said that they laid down together. And he said that the coyote, the maito, was whispering to his sister. And as he was crawling close, because he's trying to listen to what he's whispering to his sister, and he got close enough where the maito was whispering to the sister, he was telling her to repeat after me, and he was chanting, and she was repeating the chant. And then she transformed into a bear, and she came out of the Hogan, running after her brother, and she devoured her brother. and then she went and after her other brothers and their family, and
Wow.
she I think she couldn't transform back. I gotta look at that story again. But that's one of the stories I just remembered right now from
Hmm.
Maito. And people think that he's the alien shapeshifter, but we really don't know. It's just all pretty good stories though, and
You're right.
I'd like to hear
So
more about it. If you guys know more about that story, listeners out there, please reach out to us. We're all trying to rediscover ourselves.
mm,
Way
yeah,
we
it's
due to colonization.
it's it's a funny thing. You remember old stories. You remember parts of your life when you talk. Especially on this. Talking with our Shiwi guest. As we were talking, I remember seeing another UFO out there too when I was a kid, and for whatever reason, that just popped right into my head too. Like, dang, but like you totally forgot about that. Like, it was weird, but
Check
it's a
it out.
funny thing.
Yeah, for real, huh? And right here, Cedric. See another part of the story right here. My grandma told me that Coyote turned first man into first Skinwalker. I wonder if that's true or if it's just a different version of the story passed down. I believe he got to the woman first, and he got to the man at a different time. I think the one of the first ones with the transform was a woman, I believe.
Hmm.
Um, let's see here. Yeah, there's different transformations that occurred at different times. The stories I've heard. Um, Easy Lineman 47. I remember I remember shoot the Bigfoot with my lightning arrow.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Must be that's a song right there. The enemy way was it? Oh man, yeah. It's a part of the song. I remember that too. My grandpa used to sing all kinds of songs as a kid, and especially when his brother would come around. So he would be
Hmm.
singing all the Yebiche songs, and I'd be singing them too. So all these memories are slowly coming back. But
Right?
yeah, I think our guest might not be joining us tonight, which is
No.
okay. We don't mind keeping you guys company. Sorry about the title, guys. Maybe next time. When the stars align. Nah. But
Yeah.
what time do you feel like wrapping it up?
Uh. Yeah.
15?
Yeah. Well, we'll see where it lands. Maybe an hour 30. You said that you had a couple of stories that you were gonna read off too. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, but
oh yeah.
let's get that rolling. Let's get the conversation going on these stories. That were given to you actually.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see here. I should have had this. Should have had this at the hip, ready to go.
Hmm.
Let's see here. Meanwhile, let's see here. CG Willie, he says, she said Coyote did it as a joke to pick on him. Ooh,
Hmm.
pretty crazy. So do a full episode, Don. I need something to listen to on the way back to G tomorrow.
well,
Oh
well, I
man.
guess do that, huh? We'll do the whole episode.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. I have so many messages. Like I haven't really gone over any of the messages actually, because got a lot of people. Let's see here. Gotta look for Crazy Coyote's messages right here. Hang on here. He always sends me good stuff. Keep them coming, Crazy Coyote.
Uh,
Here.
you do that. Want me to tell one more story out there in Arizona? Do that while you're
Oh yeah, yeah.
scrolling.
Go
Yeah.
for it.
Well, one of the guests that I'm trying to get on, he was out there. I think it was Loop. I think if I remember right, there from what he was saying, he called us right after this encounter happened, and you can hear the fear in his tone. And this is a guy I knew for maybe 20 so many years, and you can just tell that he was scared and he was frightened. Well, what he said was, he got in an argument with his family, and he decided to, well, I'm gonna go for a drive, and that's what he decided to do. And that he just ended up at Loop, I believe. What he said was, yeah, I was sitting out there in the dark, in the truck, and I was parked across from what he said was a car wash, and it was raining, and you can hear the thunder and the water coming in. What he said was that what he seen was when the light flickered, the power went off in the uh, car wash. He said, I seen a man. He's wearing a suit. I didn't know what it was. I just seen a man in there wearing a suit. And what he's saying was, I don't know why he was wearing a suit out there in the middle of the desert. Then he started, noticing the face. He said, "This ain't gonna have a face." And it was just blank. It was just a blank slate, And what he did was he's like, "Oh shit! I think this is that Slender Man people are talking about." And then when he said that, the light flickered again, and what he said was he seen another one walk up, and it stood next to this Slender Man being, and he saw this one was smaller. It would look more like a child, and so in that desperation, he went and video called one of his friends from the Apache reservation out there in San Carlos. He's like, he video called him, and he showed him, like, "Dude, check this out," and he put the camera on. I was like, what his friend was like, "What the hell is that? Where?" He's like, "I don't know." He's like, "Try zooming in on it." And I guess what he said was like, "Yeah, this thing didn't have a face, and it was wearing a suit." From there, he just told him, get out of there. What are you doing sticking around? Leave. And this is one of the guests that trying to get on. It's stories that they're really cautious about, and this is one of them. It's really odd, and it's unique because this Slender Man character is not Navajo. It's not traditional. It's more of the creepypasta thing that came alive. So instead of him seeing one of these things, he's seen two of them, and that's one of the guests that I'm trying to get on when he feels more comfortable jumping on that. And he has little people stories. His house was kind of a portal for one of these little people, and he also seen what he said was a firebird, a phoenix. There's a couple of guests that we have on that seen these firebirds, so he's one of them. Just another good guess trying to get on here. Well, this didn't happen too, but maybe, let's say, like last year when he first came out here to the oil field. This is when he popped up. I can call this. So
you can't unsee it.
So you good?
Oh man, let's see here. Oh man, I lost the link to that, man. Let's see. Okay. All right, I'll go read. Jeez, man. Let's see here. You know what? My phone is just tripping out, man.
All right. Well,
find that conversation. You go ahead. You can tell us another story.
Yeah.
Right let's read some of these. Let's read some of these comments real fast here. I'm just gonna look up the saber-tooth tiger sightings out in Arizona that on the internet right now. I got it sent to me on the link, but dude, man, I don't know what the heck happened to it. Okay, it's right here. Owl Woman 13, hello.
Yay.
How y'all doing? Hey, we're good, Miss Owl Woman. We're all good. Emerson Nez, keep going. Right there, Darren.
All right.
Keep cooking. you can talk about the DMT and the remember the clown you were researching, and then we'll talk about that too. Tyson Lito, guess it's freestyle episode. That's right, Tyson. That's right.
Yeah.
That's how it goes sometimes. It's all good though. Should just go live with everyone in the chat. That would be a good episode.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it would be
a possibility. Yeah.
I think we'll start doing that, but that's gonna have to be until July because we're booked all the way until June. So we have a lot of people coming on, which is cool. I don't mind, but if we have, we can't really plan. We can't really plan for these things. It happens. Tyson Lolito. Go ahead, there.
Yeah, it's just this is live. This is just as good as it gets, and we didn't plan to guess, but life happens, and we're all just part of it. So, but you guys still get a show. We got more stories to tell. So.
Oh yeah. Said okay. Write that one. Mika James. I got here. Hey, what's up, Mika? Up? We're doing a freestyle night.
Yep. Got DJ Yazzie. So this one, goes back to, we'll go back to Pine Hill when we first got there. Me and one of my cousins and his brother. When we got there, we decided to go for a cruise. It was in the daytime, and there's a back road from Mountain View, so we decided to take that road for whatever reason. Like, let's go check it out and see what's back there. It's been a while, so we, I was driving. He was on the passenger side. Had the brother in the back, and in the distance, we seen a porcupine walk across the road. So I was like, oh shoot. Like, I haven't seen one of those for a long time. I heard they're pretty good to eat. Like, let's go get it. And so, we parked the truck and we started looking around in the bushes for this porcupine. Man, we spent maybe like 10 minutes trying to find where this porcupine took off to. And the area out there is just real flat, and just this little part from the road to the fence is just, there's a bunch of growth right there. Besides that, on the other side of the fence, it's just flat and barren. So as we were looking around, I heard a whistle. Just your casual, like trying to get someone's attention, and I heard a whistle called. And I looked over to, my cousin out there. He's walking around with a stick. And, I heard it. Then later on, I heard it again. And he looked over and he kind of was like, what do you want? Did you find it? Like, no, like, someone whistling. And, we got back in the truck and we just, like, wow, couldn't find it. And we didn't talk. Besides just the whistling that we heard, we jumped back in the truck and we just like, I was like, dude, you hear a whistle out there? He's like, yeah. He's like, I thought it was you. And he's like, no, dude, that wasn't me. And we both kind of looked at each other and we looked at our little, my brother's, the little brother. He's like, what happened? I think someone's whistling at us out there. Like we just kind of just like, ooh, got the chills, and we would like put it in drive and we just took off. And as for that, could be your skinwalker, or could be a porcupine that learned how to whistle, So that's one of them that happened out there. So, and and there's another guest that I want to get on. Oh, excuse me. From that area too. And from what he said was he was driving to work in the morning when he was, in the 80s. He's like, it was raining, it was muddy. And I was praying that the truck will make it out of the mud in 4-wheel drive. to make it to work. So as he was driving, he noticed what he said later on. He's like, I don't know what it was, but it was walking behind a truck, and it was he was walking, then it started running from the distance, and he's like, there was one, and then there was another one that followed after. And what he said was, it was like, oh shit, it's a Bigfoot, And what he said was, this Bigfoot went and grabbed him, and it ripped his jacket from the back, and he got so close, the thing got so close to him, it ripped his jacket, it grabbed him, and from what I was told, he still has the jacket as a reminder, a keepsake. He barely got away. And also another one on the El Morro was another man, driving to work, Pine Hill, the area. There's not a lot of work out there, so people travel to the near couple of cities over. So what this man was saying was, in the morning, he thought he seen a large man walking on the road on El Morro. He was laughing. He was like, dang, man, that guy's big. He's tall. What is he doing walking on the road? And he's like, he drove past it in a Beetle, a little Beetle ride. And he pulled over, and he was like, well, I'm going to get this guy a ride, because there's, it's a long walk right here between here and there. So he pulled over until he's like, it wasn't until this thing got to the actual, tail end of the Beetle. He's like, I knew it wasn't a human, because it was hairy, and he's like, and it was extremely tall. He thought he was wearing a jacket for whatever reason, and he came in encounter with the Bigfoot, and he got so close to his ride too that it smeared the dirt off the back of the window. This Bigfoot character, he's out there too, and even I have a couple of relatives that they want to jump on too, because there's a lot of still weird stuff that happens out there in the res.
Yep.
Even
I got the oh yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff that happens out there. My little piece of heaven out there is it's no different. And these are a couple of stories that were told to me, and encounters that I went through.
Yeah, I got the list of sightings of the saber-toothed tiger sightings in Arizona, Mexico, and New Mexico area on the cryptozoology site. And I could probably share my saber-toothed tiger story, but let's catch up with the viewers real quick. We'll give you a break there and drink some water. Let's see here. The CG Willie right here says, I'll do a no-show next week too. Just kidding, Don. Don't want to make you cry. Already am. No, just kidding. Carla Washington, 3069. Are you going to have Caveman Yowzy on your show? Trying. We're doing what we can, but we'll see what we can do. No guarantees. If so, it's going to be maybe summer. I got a lot of people wanting to come on, which is cool. And I hope he's listening. We want you to come on, Caveman. Let's see. Mika James. Vaughn is here too, just to let you know. Hey, Vaughn. Hey, Mika. Ooh, Vaughn. She better be your girl. Not just kidding. Let's see here. She's snitching you out. Chris Soto. Did I say his name right? Critios Soto. I was going to say Soto. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, man. He says, I'm totally good with just you guys talking. Darren has some really creepy stories. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson Lolito. Oh, right. Well, for that time, should I run into more mysteries, things to tell you guys? I started going into the woods. The hairy man visits me while doing woods. Was there yesterday, felt his or her presence, watching you, undressing you with its eyes. No, just kidding. Right here, Emerson Nez. St. Michael's, we hear Yebiche all year, even in the summertime. Cops don't believe it. Ooh, Darren, gotta check that out. See if he'll tell us the future. Cedric Willie, let Darren take a nap. He looks like he needs it.
Yeah, it's a week. It's the beginning of the work week. So
it's getting old. Yeah, it's good. Wood City 79. Hello from Chinle, Arizona. Hey, what's up, Wood City? What's up? I see you. I see Chinle's rising in Spotify numbers, man. Chinle is just going up there, going neck and neck with Mesa. What's up, Chinle? Thanks for listening out there to us. Okay, so all right, I'll go into my saber-toothed tiger story. All right, this took place with my family, and half my family's traditional, the other half is Christian, and I was with the Christian side of the family. All my stories always come from when the Christian side of the family are together, and yeah, Jay Clark, the guest couldn't show up because unforeseen circumstances. Okay, and so it was in Mexican water. They had a little revival, and we drove back home to Helchita, and had an uncle that was there. He didn't want to sleep there. He wanted to get dropped off in Ojito. So I was like, I'll drive. I'm wide awake still. So I was driving, and we're getting to Monument Pass, and my cousin was sleeping in back of the truck. It was my grandpa's GMC extended cab. So there was my aunt in the front and another cousin. For some reason, he wanted to sit by me in the truck, and I was giving him a hard time. Dude, you got the whole back seat back there. Go lay down. He's like, no, give me a creepy look and all that. I was like, man, whatever. So I was driving from Helchita to Miami Valley. I was just picking on him, just giving him a hard time, like I do everybody. And when we got to the pass, I tell you, the vibe just changed, and we stopped talking. My aunt her seat was reclined backwards. She was sleeping, and my cousin and I, we stopped talking. We hit the curve, and then when we got to the opening, I had my truck. It was on high beam, and I can see a house off into the left side at like at least over 100 yards. There's a couple of houses, but this one house was right there, and the high beam hit that house, and I seen a giant cat sitting on the porch, and its head was as tall as the roof. Remember how the roof is like this, the very top?
Mm-hmm.
This cat's head was almost as tall as the roof, and it was sitting on the porch like a cat, but big. And I seen that, and I thought I was the only one that seen that. And as I was turning the vehicle, because the road kind of turns away from the houses, and as I was driving, like the light kind of went off the house, I seen when the light passed, I seen the cat's eyes kind of reflect from the light, and it jumped off from the porch, and it started running across the sand, the bushes, and it jumped from the fence. It jumped onto the highway. The distance between the fence and the highway is pretty good distance, right? 20 feet or so, 35 maybe. So one leap, bro, boom, right on the pavement. And when it landed on the pavement, that's when I was like, oh man, this is really happening. And it started running towards us on the road, and it started zigzagging like this, jumping back and forth, coming at us. And I started yelling. And my cousin, he started yelling too, and it jumped to our right, and it jumped to our left. By the time it got to our left, I was like at least 5 feet away from it, and it jumped back towards us. And by the time it jumped back towards us, our back tire on the right, on my driver's side, picked up the whole bed of the truck, kind of went up, and boom. And I kind of skidded across the road a little bit, and I got control. My aunt woke up. She's like, why aren't you at? Screaming. And my cousin and I were just laughing hysterically. We're laughing probably like at least 200 yards of driving. We finally answered my aunt. And we're like, we don't know. We don't know what we hit. It was just a giant cat, a giant big, huge cat, as huge as a car, a small car. And we flipped one and we went back to that same area, slowed down. I did not see a patch of fur. I did not see blood, nothing. And, I started doing research and I found two families that live around that area. They say they see it every other night. It comes out as soon as the sun goes down, and it goes back hiding as soon as the sun comes up. It hunts in that Monument Pass Valley. It lives in the valley. It comes out at night. It lives off the wild donkeys, wild horses, any sheep, whatever's there, it'll eat it, it'll attack it. And it'll do a Mexican standoff with somebody that's in a car. So these creatures, they don't have much fear. And the description of it is a huge cat, right? Its tail was probably a medium-sized tail. And it had like a stripe on its back, and it had like a weird 10 stripe, like 3 of them, maybe 4. And then all on its coat, it had like what looked like a cheetah, like a dots all over. It had patterns all over. As it was running, I was seeing everything. That whole pattern's changing as I was running. I was studying it.
Yeah, that's what I was say. If this thing have cheetah patterns on it, I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna bring that up.
It did.
For whatever reason, the West out here, it's really, it's mysterious, and it's a beautiful place to live, but it also has, another form of life, prehistoric life out here. It's really interesting. It's a very interesting place. But I think J.C. Johnson, the Four Corner Cryptid, I think he's seen one of these things too. Prehistoric. I think, what do you call it? Like a sloth or something out there. So for whatever reason, maybe there's a. What do you think? What do you think this thing, like, where this thing come from? Jim. Ghost. Whirlpools.
We have a huge cave close to where we live that's very, very deep that no one doesn't want to go in. And that's where a lot of the dogmen go into and come from. And that's where Sasquatch goes into and comes out of. And that location, I have yet to go and do work myself because I know how serious it is and how deadly it is. And I just need a team that will have my back to go down in that canyon. And down in, it's like a little mini canyon. There's a cave that goes into that mesa, into that canyon that goes way in there. And that's where all the Sasquatch go in. That's where Dogman goes into. Wow. When we would chase him, he would run straight into that canyon, into that cave. So, there's a lot of caves and there's a lot of hollow earth entrance accesses in the Navajo Nation, like the Superstition Mountains. So we got a lot of that. And we have Skinwalker Ranch, all that. We just have a huge can of worms everywhere. But let's read this before I read the this thing right here. The Cedric Willie, hey Darren, we're in the same boat. Been working 3 weeks straight. Oh man.
Yep.
Jeez. Hope you get day off. Emerson Nez, about 25 years ago, my son and we saw a Black Panther.
Okay.
It used to be all around Navajo land.
Yeah, you can't say that. You gotta explain it, man. Freaking, it's been a while since I heard a Black Panther out there.
It's a Navajo mountain.
Is that right?
Seen in Navajo Mountain. Yeah.
Oh.
For the past 20 years, people have been seeing it, and even in Miami Valley, people have been seeing it as well. And there's also jaguars too, seen in Navajo Mountain. There's also Mexican gray wolves too. They've been seen a lot in Navajo Mountain, all that canyon, Navajo Canyon that goes to Lake Powell. There's like a pack of Mexican gray wolves that live in that canyon. Chaya. So that canyon, there's Bigfoot that lives in that canyon too. And everyone's scared of that one. They say he has long claws. Okay, so sightings of the saber-toothed tiger. According to museum creator, Joe Tyler. 2 saber-toothed cats were shot by U.S. cavalrymen in Arizona around 1913. 1929, 1928, Bronco businessman Colonel R.B. Pearson arrived outside the office of the morning of Oregonian. Oregon. I can't even say that. Oregon. Oregon person with a large covered cage on its back, uh, in the back of his truck, which allegedly contained a mysterious animal referred to by the journalist as a what is it? What is it? 2 reporters were supposedly allowed to see the animal, which they claimed growled at them, in which they described as weighing as 800 pounds. Looks like a combination of a tiger, lion, cougar, growls like all of them together. Has claws like a cat, has stripes like a tiger.
Hmm.
Square snout, ooh, shaggy hair around its shoulders. Oh man, sounds like what I saw. Tusks on its mouth. Said he fed it 1 calf every 2.5 days. Later in the month, Pearson and his alleged animal arrived in Idaho. And the Idaho statesman reported that the creature was about twice as large as a mountain lion, with a particular beard and markings similar to those of a tiger. Its ears resemble those of a gorilla. Pearson claimed that he and 6 other men captured it southwest of Mexico City. About May 1928, he said that it was believed to have killed several people and to have injured one of his helpers, and even claimed that a spectator who got too close to the bars had his face clawed open. According to Pearson, his plan was to take the animal to Washington, D.C. to be identified by National Zoological Society. However, the 28th of November, it was reported that 3 weeks previously, his truck had been overturned in an accident in Iowa, and the animal had escaped, contrasting with the original description of a cat-like beast. Pearson now claimed that the animal, which he called his pet, resembled a gorilla, was not dangerous. In 1946.
Cat that resembled a gorilla.
Yeah. Oh. In 1946, a contact of Richard Muirhead's named Jerry Piedela claimed that the deceased relatives had seen a saber-toothed tiger on a remote mountain near northern New Mexico. One night in 1946, it was said to have been the same color as a lion. 1994, the sighting of a saber-toothed cat was reported from northern Mexico. In 1994, it was allegedly observed by Mr. Roberto Gutierrez, according to a 1998 Science issue article, which also included a confused account of a tiger. Okay, in Paraguay. All right. So, yeah, and see here, another cryptid cat of Mexico suggested to be a saber-toothed cat is a ruffled cat, possibly a living saber-toothed cat, also reported from South America. Wow,
Big
it's even reported in Africa and Asia. Saber-toothed tigers. Not cool.
Well, it's probably still around. This thing's still around. That wouldn't really surprise me.
I seen it. I know it's around. We just gotta get it on camera.
Even these horseshoe crabs too. Those things are still around out here in the desert. I'm pretty sure a lot of stuff. A lot of mysteries going on.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let's read some of these ones real quick here. Let's see here. Tyson, I saw a black panther in my area. Also, a pack of gray wolves here. Ooh, another thing to worry about out there, man. Emerson Nez, this is in St. Michael's. Ooh, a lot of good things in St. Michael's. Little Wolf C13. Hey, what's up, Little Wolf? Says hi, Don and Darren.
Hey, what's up?
Thank you for joining us. Yeah, that's That was pretty cool. You should like read some cryptid uh, stuff like this more often for the viewers out there, and just keep the mystery and the wonder alive. You know, there's more things out there running around than Sasquatch for all you listeners.
All right. A lot of stuff. But yeah, it's a beautiful world we live in. Just full of mysteries. And saber-toothed cats and Bigfoot and water monsters, Bigfoot, dogmen. A lot of stuff going on.
Goatman. Yeah, that's where Goatman came out of too. That cave I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
I seen Goatman right up on that mesa near there.
Wow.
And I think it's an access and entry for Hollow Earth.
Might want to go there and put some cameras up. Kind of curious about what this Goatman, looks like, especially the eyes, dude. I'm kind of curious. Has those goat eyes or human eyes?
Oh, as far as I can tell you, right here is forward facing like you and I, not like outwards, but it was forward facing, and then its mouth was like a man and a goat. It wasn't natural right here. This thing was like you and I. I chalk it up as being demonic. I don't know till I get a picture on that. Right here, Tyson. I'll wear my finest work gear than a splash of cologne. Looks like Tyson wants to be bait. Little Wolf C13. I haven't heard a lot of stories about deer women. Do either of you have any?
No,
No,
not on my side.
Nope.
But not on my side. No.
I know Little Wolf is River Cheyenne by the Crow Agency. I wonder if you guys have any deer women. I would love to hear about the deer woman. Sounds very scary. And I know I think Rod's area northern Montana might have deer women. I know the Ozarks, they have the deer woman, that's for sure. The Ozarks out there in Arkansas and Oklahoma, Missouri area. It's like a forest area over there. I wish I knew, I would have done research, but I was working in the oil refinery days. So we all know how that plays out.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah.
But we might have to retitle this one. Maybe in the next one. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Little Wolf. My bad. She's Northern Cheyenne. Okay.
Oh.
I know there's numerous bands of Cheyenne. That's for sure. We got to get a Cheyenne on as well. All of them. I know they have little people stories, and yeah, it's just a freestyle episode, like you're saying, which is good.
I think on the next one, I'll tell more about the UFOs. I seen multiple of them. Even on Facebook, I went out and blew up Facebook for the whole week. I seen the UFOs, the Bigfoot, and the exorcism. So I'll probably go more detail what these UFOs did during this whole week. For whatever reason, there was a lot of weird stuff that happened in that month. One week was Bigfoot. Next week it was UFOs, and then next 1 week it was an exorcism, and then the next week so the tail went on, dude. I don't know what was going on during that month, but it was always an exciting place. And
oh man, we're running low on time there.
Maybe next time I'll get more into detail what these UFOs did. So
definitely. Whenever we have someone skip out on us early, which is okay, or someone can't make it, which is all right. But definitely we gotta have a planned chaos. Have a planned chaos week. Like, hey, wish we knew, but it's all good though. Darren, you want to say laters before I close out?
Oh yeah, laters. Have a good week, safe week, and take care of yourselves. I mean that, guys. Everybody out there, world's a weird place now. And thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time out and listening to us. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe for sure.
Yes, please, guys, please. Look us up on Facebook. Facebook group Don't Whistle at Night podcast. And yes, little wolf, you're late. It says laters, Darren. Laters, and Darren, get some sleep. See you guys next episode. Yeah, it's Lee's next episode. So you'll see Mr. Cedric Willie here. All right, here. Bigfoot doesn't sound like sulfur. Doesn't like
Don't
sulfur.
like sulfur.
Yeah, right here. Carla, good night. Good night. I think she's saying Don and Darren. Oh yeah, you guys stay weird too. You guys have a good one.
All the time.
Thanks for joining us. All right. Closing out right now. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you for tuning in to Don't Whistle at Night. We have been broadcasting live here on the United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM in New Orleans. I'll see you guys next time from your host, Don and Darren.
Later.
You guys have a good one. See ya.
Bye.
Yeah. As soon as I can get this intro, I'll see ya.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.